Thursday, June 22nd, 2023, Maneco 64, home of alternative economics and contrarian views. We're going to look at the BRICS today. Are they going to announce a new monetary system, or some even think a new reserve currency in August? I'm not too sure. I'm not privy to their private conversations and what they've planned, the leaders of those countries. But some people are speculating that they are, and that's what we're going to look at today. Before I start, I like to say that I've been talking about the move away from the petrodollar for almost 6 years now. I have a playlist called the PetroDollar Files. I also have one of my top videos in terms of views was from September 6, 2017, and it was entitled China Delivers Knockout Blow to Petrodollar. That was a part one video. I think there's three videos on that topic. Many people at the time thought, after a few months or a year, they said, oh, you said it was the end of the petrodollar and nothing's happened. But I warned back then that this was a project that was going to take many years, because the petrodollar, or the dollar system, it is like a super tanker. It takes time for things to change, for the tanker, super tanker, to tack. It's not like a dinghy. It's not just like a little puny currency. So it's taken many years, because China, along with Russia and other countries, they've built the infrastructure for a new monetary system, and maybe even a new currency. But I don't think they want a major reserve currency. The BRICS countries, I think they just want to trade amongst themselves and back their currencies by gold, most probably, because that's the only way to back a currency that has been successful over millennia. What we've had since 1973 with the petrodollar is an aberration, and I think it's about to end, and it creates a lot of problems as well for the country that runs that system, because all the other countries in the world, they want to sell to that country so they can earn dollars, so they can deal with other countries in dollars. So it creates all these distortions. The US has had this exorbitant privilege. I think it was Giscard d'Estaing who said that back in the 70s, of being able to basically borrow for nothing. And this, of course, has created a lot of problems, not just for the whole world, but for America. And we're seeing that now with the national debt, with the unfunded liabilities, with the trade deficits. So I don't think the BRICS themselves want one currency dominating. They just want to trade amongst themselves and make sure that their own currencies are sound, so they can trade goods for goods, not this speculative fiat confetti that we have these days. So I recommend you go into my petrodollar files and look at it, to look at the origins of the petrodollar as well. This has been a very long process of changes in the monetary system. And I think we're going to get a new monetary system, at least some people are speculating, announced in August of this year. And it's very possible at the BRICS summit. And we haven't really had a monetary system since 1971. And that's not me saying that. That was a former Fed official, former economist, John Exter. He said that it was a non-system after Nixon closed the gold window. Dollars and all other fiat currencies are IOU nothings. So yeah, the BRICS, they're going to have their summit in South Africa, August 22nd to August 24th. And have you noticed that the more this BRICS system, currency system, or whatever you want to call it, gets implemented, the more geopolitical tensions we get, like Taiwan, Ukraine, sanctions. And I think that's all related to the negotiations behind the scenes between the BRICS countries and the United States representing the West. It's all about negotiations of the new system. And it looks like Jim Rickards, who I've had on the channel probably back in 2020, I interviewed him. I haven't had him since then. He's writing, and I don't know where he gets his information from, but he says that the biggest monetary shock in 52 years, and I'll put a link to this article below in the description. You can read the whole thing. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but he says, I recently revealed that the so-called BRICS Plus, oh yeah, and the BRICS, of course, they're not just going to be these 5 countries, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. It's going to be a lot more. There's like 20 or 29, a lot more that want to join. I think the whole world almost will join eventually. Even President Macron has asked to be an observer at this summit. And this is official here. It came from the foreign minister of France, who went to visit her South African counterpart, I think this Monday. And Macron is just waiting for the thumbs up from the South African president. Some people think he wants to spy, or maybe he wants to have a ticket on the BRICS train, the new BRICS system train, monetary system, who knows? But it's quite interesting. But back to Jim Rickards. Yeah, he says that they're going to announce the creation of a new currency at its annual Leaders Summit conference on August 22nd, 24th. I've got 2 comments about that. First of all, I don't think they're going to announce a new currency. I think they're going to announce a new monetary system. It will be a little bit like in the pre-World War I system. Countries had their own currencies, but they're all backed by gold or silver, and they traded within that. That it wasn't really anything to do with one reserve currency. There are several reserve currencies. Of course, British pound was the major reserve currency because it was the biggest economic and trading power. So I don't completely agree with Jim Rickards there. He could be right, though. They could announce a new BRICS currency, but I doubt it personally. And the other thing I would say is I don't know where he got his information from, because if they were going to announce a new system, then I would have thought they'd want to keep it kind of a secret, but who knows? He might have his sources. And he says this will be the biggest upheaval in international finance since 1971. It's taking direct aim at the dollar. I agree with that. No problem there. That's when the Bretton Woods system collapsed and we got the non-system. And am I telling you that you should have the BRICS currency? That is the place to be, and that the BRICS nations are going to do really well? No, I'm just saying that this is going to be big and it's going to affect us, as you'll see here as we go through this article. It appears likely the new BRICS currency, BRICS Plus currency, will be linked to a weight of gold, and I agree with that. This plays to the strengths of BRICS members, Russia and China. So I agree with the weight of gold idea there, but I think all the currencies within the BRICS system will have a weight of gold. This plays to the strengths of BRICS members, Russia and China. These countries are the 2 largest gold producers in the world and are ranked 6th and 7th respectively among the 100 nations with gold reserves. One difficulty in considering the impact of the new BRICS currency on the dollar is that all dollar indexes compare currency to currency, but that's meaningless since the dollar, euro, and sterling could all suffer from a loss of confidence at the same time. And I agree with him there. And he's talking about the fact that all these fiat currencies are sinking. And I've been saying that for many years. I even wrote about it back in 2007, way before I had this channel. And while I was still working in the city of London, I said that all fiat currencies are sinking. So we have to measure it, all currencies versus gold. If gold goes from 2,000 to 10,000 per ounce, that is better understood as an 80% devaluation of the dollar from 0.005 ounces per dollar to 0.1 ounces per dollar. That's a collapse of confidence, but you'll miss it if you're looking at euros or yen. These currencies will all be collapsing at the same time. So there you go. All sinking, and they have been for many years, of course, but it's going to accelerate now. All we have to do now is wait and see what happens in August, on August 22nd, 24th, if they're really going to announce a new monetary system or a new currency. I would be leaning more towards a new system and different currencies backed by gold. And how that will affect the West, of course, is that we're going to have higher cost of living. Inflation is going to stay elevated because our currencies are going to be worth less versus real things. There will be higher interest rates because these countries are not going to be buying as many of our government bonds. And yeah, interesting times. So there you go. Rudy wanted to come down. He's down below the desk now. He's a little quieter. I apologize for that. I just wanted to show you, though, something that makes me believe that they are going for a new system or a new currency. And we've spoken about this many times in the last 6 months because it happened last year and it's happening again this year. And this Twitter handle here, Silver Santa, says, the BRICS are looking up on gold like never before. I wonder why that is. They're also working on a new common trading currency that will be backed by hard assets. Also yesterday, the IMF stressed that CBDCs should be backed by hard assets. I wonder what the perfect hard asset will be. Wheat, rubber, ribs, pork, pancakes. Lol. But yeah, this is all the buying of gold by mainly BRICS nations. I see that Singapore has been buying a lot of gold this year. Even Poland is starting to buy gold. I think these countries are aware that they're going to have to diversify because they do trade with the BRICS nations. So it says here fundamental demand, from global central banks, especially BRICS plus nations, continues as gold now makes a greater percentage of reserve assets than at any time in the past 40 years. So I'll leave it at that. And we'll go and check where the markets are this morning. It's 8:35 a.m. London time. Today, of course, we got the Bank of England decision at midday London time. The markets expect them to raise rates from 4.5 to 4.75. I don't think that's enough anymore. They should do at least 50 basis points. And ideally, they should raise it straight from 4.5 to 5.5 and keep doing that until they get the base rate above the CPI rate. Ideally, it would be above the RPI, but I think I'd be asking them too much. Of course, I don't think that's going to happen. So we've got spot gold trading around $19.29. It's down about $3. The high's been 35 and the low has been 27. Silver has been, of course, hit hard recently. And I think, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Some people that look at the COMEX and SLV, they've noticed that there's been a lot of the silver that's been put in the vaults for delivery, not just for SLV, but COMEX. We'll see what happens with silver. But I heard from Oliver Temple from Gold Investments, and he said it's been quiet because the market, the prices have been going down. And he says people always buy when the prices are going up and they never buy when it's going down, which is paradoxical, but unfortunately that's the way people feel about buying not just gold and silver, but any financial asset. And it should be the other way around. If you like something, an asset or whatever, you should buy it when it's cheaper. But anyway, right now, spot silver is down 11 cents at 22.54. The low's been 49 and the high 75. Dow futures is down 110 points. The NASDAQ 100 is down 45, and the S&P is down 12. To the sinking fiat currencies, well, sterling is down a little bit, not that much at 127.50. The euro is unchanged. The dollar is unchanged versus the yen. The dollar is up slightly versus the yuan. The Aussie dollar is down 0.25% at 67.80. And the dollar is unchanged against the Canadian dollar at 131.52. And the Kiwi dollar is unchanged as well, so not much change there. To the general commodities, WTI crude is down 0.33%, 72.25. Brent is down 0.4 at 76.82. Platinum is down $5, trading at $9.40. High-grade copper is up 0.2%, trading at $391.50. And let's quickly check the gilt market. The 2-year gilt yield, that's trading around 5.09, so still above 5. I think it got up to like 5.17 yesterday, but it's drifted back down a little bit. As per the U.S. Treasury market, yields there are pretty steady compared to the UK yields. The 10-year is up 2 basis points at 3.75. The 2 years at 4.74, up 3 basis points. With that, I'm going to wish you all a very good day. Take care. Bye.